controversial topic of the day, and we're just going to show you guys pretty furniture. We're going to show you guys what we're making in the shop. I got a CNC router back here that I'm putting together, so I'll show you guys putting the CNC router together, and I think it's going to be a great thing, you know. So we got first comment in here, Just News 9730. Let's see, you're quitting a job with brass bar and the shaker drawer style you show in the picture. From the video, you mentioned RTV glue. Do you ever mechanically fasten? No, I don't mechanically fasten any of my brass. So great first question. Again, the brass desk is being painted right now. The brass is getting ready to be polished. I'll do a video on polishing up the brass, on sanding the brass, and then when it comes time to put the brass onto the desk, I'll show you guys exactly how they do that. But yeah, I very rarely use any mechanical fasteners. The old, original desk that was built, because this is actually one that I was given from another client. The original one had brass screws in it, and when I was in aerospace, when I was working on private jets, in private jets, they never use mechanical fasteners. They always use things called like RTV silicone, or you use some kind of epoxies. But the idea is that they use RTV silicones because the intent is actually to be able to take the brass off of the desk or off of the side ledges or off of the end panels, off of the lavatory parts. Again, you want to be able to remove that brass because in about 10 or 15 years, the jet will come back in, be refurbished, and they'll have to send all the metal to be plated again, right? Plating doesn't last forever. But anyway, I hope that's helpful. This is Just News 9738. Okay, so anyway, we're in the stream. If you guys are the like button, or if you guys are in the stream, hit the like button, add a discussion. I'm going to show you guys in the shop. We've got a lot of things to show you today. My name's Eric Wilkin. I own the Splendid Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We are a fine furniture boutique company. We do about 500 pieces a year. We make staying grade furniture. We also do high gloss lacquered. We're known for our high gloss lacquered finish. About 92% of my clients are women, and so they like the big, beautiful, shiny furniture. So that's what I'm going to show you guys. And again, I got all kinds of fun stuff to show you guys, so let's get after it. Okay, so for starters, let's flip this around here. So here's the start of our new CNC router. So we're getting this thing all put together. And you can see that I've got all of the extruded aluminum brackets all put together. These are the guide rails for, I guess it's going to control the gantry unit and all that fun stuff. So we got a lot of cool parts over there. All of the the hardware that goes onto this thing, all of the electrical components, all of the plumbing, I guess. And we've just got, like I said, this is a big touchscreen, massive touchscreen unit. So again, all of the cables and everything go to this. So it's a big project to get this thing all put together. And you can see the tracks are going to hold all the wires as everything moves along the rails over here. So anyway, this is a cool project. I'm doing a video on this, so I'll make sure and do a YouTube video about how I put this together. But it's pretty stout. I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. The company here is Millwright CNC, and they do a great job. So I'm pretty happy with them. So yeah, if you guys want to know anything about putting together a CNC router, let me know, and I will throw some stuff in there for you guys. Okay, so prototype cabinet. So I'm working on a new Evans vanity. So this detail is kind of what makes the Evans vanity what it is. And then there's also going to be an Asian-y motif that goes on each one of these doors. And as you can see, what this is this called HDF, is what the material is called. So it's not MDF, it's HDF. It's very different. So what we'll end up doing is we'll end up edge banding everything, putting our Asian motif on here, and then this thing should be ready for sanding and paint and stuff like that. We'll take a look at it, see if we like it. This is just the initial prototype. It takes a lot of time to prototype cabinets. I think a lot of people think you just build something and then it magically becomes a piece of furniture. When we're making new stuff, we constantly have to change proportions, move door sizes, move base sizes around. It usually takes us like 3 or 4 iterations of something to get it put together. So here's another thing, and again, it's kind of a mess, guys, but here is the serpentine dresser that we're building, right? I keep doing videos about this thing. I keep kind of working my way back to it, but you guys can see that we have the nice, beautiful serpentine shape, and I just did a video on how to make this top, right? And see if I can push this thing over here. So you see that the top is, again, our HDF product and a big, massive piece of poplar wood. We join those together using biscuits, and then you're able to create your profile on there. If you look, we have a whole bunch of different jigs here that have these different profiles on. So I'm always doing videos about how to create step back and step forward profiles using complex geometry. So the truth is that you can't just move a radius back or move a radius forward. You always have to recalculate for it based on how far you're moving the radius, whether it's 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, whatever. So there's math involved every time you want to make a radius. It's not as simple as just moving jigs around. So, all right, let's head into the other side of the wood shop. Come in here. And again, everything is a mess. I just cleared out a whole crap ton of area for this router over here. So again, I had benches and all kinds of shit over here. Moved it all out. I guess I got to show you this too. So this is a black box vacuum, right? It's called a Hurricane, and these are pretty cool. They're this is about $4,000, but it's essentially, again, made in America, baby. It's a monster, massive vacuum system that will suck down everything we put on our CNC router. So it's pretty cool. But again, I got to run tons of power for that. So I've got, if you guys look over here, I've got tons of cables. So I got to run a bunch of 220. I got to run 2 more lines, and we're going to run it up here to run power into our router for a dust collector and for the machine itself. And I guess we got to run the black box. So anyway, all right, so that's enough CNC stuff. So let's come into the wood shop. As you're in the stream, hit the like button. Helps to kind of kick it around to people. And again, here's the paint department. I've just filled it full of shit. Here's the old benches, all the junk that was in there. I threw everything on carts, and because nobody's here, I can just throw bunches of junk around. So again, all the stuff that the router came on, there's the desk, there's the other Evans piece, and I'll get to those in just a minute. So again, I'll show you guys everything we're working on this week. So we're building some really cool tables. So we are, well, hold on, I'll get to them. So here's a big Stanley China cabinet. So we make a lot of these, or not make them, we fix a lot of these, and then we sell them, we paint them. We buy these for like $100 because nobody wants them anymore. We sell them for about $5,000. So it's actually a really cool deal. These, believe it or not, are cast iron. Got cast iron feet on here. It's pretty cool. You can see how they're attached with screws. And so this one looks like we're missing, see how the foot broke off here? So we'll have to go in and probably have to fix that. So again, you kind of see they have the front one is this beautiful cast piece, but the back is actually a leg. So we'll end up shoring all this up, make sure that it's in good shape. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of times you'll see that this is broken. We have to fix this quite a bit, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. And you can see frame and panel, that's what you want. Other things we built, so had to build a couple of these, what I call cheapy nightstands. And again, they're just a little bit of a lower grade than what we normally build. But again, this is your typical, builder grade 1/2-inch UV coated plywood. We put UV coated trim on the top of it. So this is kind of what you'd see in a lot of furniture companies. But again, you can see how the top rests on the end panel, and then we always put thick pieces of edge banding on it. This isn't iron-on, it's all glued on. And anyway, it makes it highly paintable. But again, it's a nice looking piece. Got a nice little kind of flared out legs. Very simple. It's meant to just focus more on getting the Resplendent Crow paint job on your furniture as opposed to spending a lot of money on a high-end built piece of furniture. So that's what we got going on there. So these are kind of interesting. So believe it or not, these were part of, oh my God, of course I'm going to draw a blank. I keep wanting to say Chuck Yeager, not Charles Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh, okay? So for those of you who know, Charles Lindbergh is one of the guys that flew across the Atlantic originally. Well, he couldn't afford to do it. So what happened was he met in a bar, whoops, flip back around. He met in a bar and sat at this table, and other people sat at this table. So there were 6 of these total. So we got 2 of them here. So 2 of these tables, these are, again, part of what Charles Lindbergh met with the people to get him to fly across the Atlantic. So anyway, kind of a cool piece. So anyway, we got to go and we got to fix all these up. They're a little bit loose. We're gonna end up sanding all these. We'll end up high gloss lacquering them. So what we have going on here is, you can see these are the underside ribs, right? This is generally what you see under the underside of a typical round table. Oops, there goes all the screws. But you can see all it is just plywood. So they would form these up, they'd make a jig, and they'd bend a whole bunch of little strips of wood, and then they'd bend this up into a shape, and they do it in halves, right? So there's one half here, and here's the other half over here. So that's kind of it. And they literally just screw all these together. So there's no glue holding all these together. Now, you can see this was made of oak, and it had split really bad. So what Nazar went and did in here is he went and he basically routed in a bunch of these little patches, and then he glued in some blocks, right? Because this is all going to be painted, it doesn't matter that this is poplar wood as opposed to oak, right? Because oak doesn't paint at all. It's terrible for painting. So the underside here is going to get laminate, right? So what are the tricks, you guys? If you want to be able to paint something that's a very grainy wood, like oak specifically, but maybe like ash wood might be another one. Hickory is paintable, but anyway, a porous wood, maybe mahogany is even a good one. You want to laminate them. You put some Wilson Art, for Mike, all these companies, you can get different kinds of laminate, right? You can get laminates that are actually glossy, right? You can get gloss laminates. That's what you do. You get yourself a gloss laminate, and then you get that gloss, you sand it with some 320, and then it becomes a perfectly paintable surface, and it hides all the grain. Because the truth is people tell you, well, just put some grain filler on it, or the primer will cover it. The truth is it won't. Like, what will happen is your lacquer will shrink, your primer will shrink, and then you'll be left seeing that grain. And then what you'll have to do is you'll have to end up wet sanding and polishing it probably twice till it's done shrinking, So anyway, just something for you guys to know. Okay, let's look at the other one. What do we got going on in here? Okay, so this is, let's see here. This is the other one, and you see this one's in much better shape. So Nazar only had to do 3 of these on here, and this one's, like I said, much better. But again, same thing. Anyway, just kind of a cool little got a little bit of history to it. And again, we're gonna fix it up. Some of these things are just kind of beat up. We'll end up filling in all this. We'll add new, oops, I just can't really see it, but we'll end up adding new pieces of wood on here, and we'll build all these things. But again, because they're being painted, we can do all kinds of things, which is really nice. So other things I'm gonna show you guys in here. All these parts are all credenzas. Remember, I'm always telling you guys to make production furniture if you can, because it'll allow you to work on all the custom, all the fun projects. But you can see that we've just got tons of end panels along here, which is why I'm buying the CNC. So Nazar spent all this time cutting all these out, putting in all these domino holes, and just doing a lot of work. And now we'll be able to cut all this stuff out on a router. So that's kind of the idea. I should run you guys in back. I've got a lot of stuff in back right now. Let's go over to the paint department and see what I got over here. Pardon me, guys. I got to turn a light on real quick. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. And there's lots going on here, but I'm not going to stick around too much. So, all right, here's some for you painters. So these are Fuji turbines, right? We used to use Fujis. They're kind of junk, to be honest with you, as far as their guns go. And their turbines don't seem to last quite as long as the Graco. So this one literally is brand spanking new. It already crapped out on us. So probably just end up selling that for parts. We've got tons of Fuji guns in here. Probably got 5 different Fuji guns in here. And again, got another turbine, another Fuji turbine. Again, motor's burnt out. So probably going to end up getting rid of that one for parts because it's just too damn hard to find people to repair Fuji stuff. So more junk. So here's how. This is a good thing for you guys. So if you want to learn how to make bamboo parts, these are molds. So we make molds out of all these things. So this is essentially your master pattern. You put wood here, and then you fill this thing with silicone. Fill that with silicone, and you pull that silicone off, you're left with a master mold. So there's a trick you're not going to find very much. So more cool things. When I was tearing all this stuff apart in the wood shop, I found all kinds of old jigs and old cool stuff. So flip this around here. So the Dorothy Draper Espana chest is one of the most iconic pieces of furniture in the world. And the way that I made the original one was I etched it, right? You guys ever seen this? So you can etch complex patterns, and then you can recreate these shapes on a pin router or on a CNC router. You can actually calculate all these radiuses and put this in CAD and recreate it, So kind of interesting. Something you can do is kind of fun. But here's the original jig that I built for it, which I thought was pretty sick, So anyway, there's that. And then these are what the parts look like when you're done with them, right? So very cool in how we make that kind of stuff. So we're upgrading what we do. So got other cool things I found. We got bent parts, right? These are not bent, I should say. These are just cut out curved demi-lume parts. Old jigs and stuff that I made. So Sucheta wanted to make a line of drink tables. So I made a whole bunch of different kinds of drink tables for it that had all these different patterns on them. Of course, legs would go in here. But again, you can see this technique is called dishing, right? So see the pattern here, you got the router and you route all this stuff out into a solid piece, in this case of 1/2" MDF as a prototype. And so anyway, it's called dishing. It's kind of a cool old world technique. Here's the master jig for doing that, right? You guys see how this is all done? So we cut all this out on a pin router, and then you run your router in here and router everything out. So anyway, kind of cool. So again, there's we're real furniture makers here. We do all kinds of old school stuff. Okay, back over here. So now we're in paint. Okay, let's come in here. So the desk that was originally asked about, here's what the desk looks like when it's in its primed stage. So literally the whole thing has been primed, and you can see that this is what we call the upper assembly. You can see we have these big pieces of poplar wood that will then attach the top to. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Again, this is your back side, and it's all just filler pieces in here, but it looks really cool. So it's kind of coming together, and again, we've got big, long slides that go in. These are 24-inch side mount slides. So you got big drawers inside of this desk. what I was showing you guys earlier about the that vanity I'm building in the shop, this is the motif that goes on the front of each one of those doors. So this is the credenza for the Evans line. We'll also have a vanity, and then we'll end up doing some other kinds of furniture with it. And this is how we generally do our furniture. So we'll start off maybe 1 or 2 pieces in a line. We'll see if people like it, and then we'll continue to build other pieces that go to it in the hopes that they'll continue to sell with everything else. So let's see, we got in the, if we have, oh God, I guess we do have some stuff in here. Okay, this is, what is this? So this is, these cabinets in here were built by another furniture company or cabinet company, and they sent them to us. So these are all made out of particle board, and we're painting all these for people. So we get a lot of people sending us furniture. They'll buy brand new pieces of furniture from different kinds of manufacturers, and they'll just send it to us brand new so that we can sand it and paint it, you know? So it's kind of cool. And it's like, that means you got a good product when people are willing to do that. So the finish on here, if I can pick these up here. So the color is actually, it's pretty good. We got a really nice shine here. And again, it's a beige color, so it's not going to be super reflective, but it's pretty sick, right? And not bad for, that's got to be 2 coats, I would think. So that piece is looking pretty good. If we come over in here, we got some Hermes orange vanities. And again, this is another example, guys. I'm always telling you, find pieces of furniture that you can sell tons of. I sell probably 50 of these a year, and this is the color Hermes orange. And again, it's kind of dark in here, but again, you got a really nice shine. And this is what people buy. This is, again, one of our Zane credenzas. I'll probably sell 75 of these this year. So we sell them in all different sizes, very popular. So yeah, great way to make money if you can find that piece of furniture that you can repeat. Gives you a lot of capital to work with to do all kinds of other things. So this is kind of cool. Check this out. So this is a Theodore Alexander cabinet, brand spanking new. It's not even out of the box. So somebody bought this and just literally had it sent right from the manufacturer to us. So this thing's going to have, what is this called? This is called a Panos chest. So you guys can kind of see what it is. There's the part number. And again, we're just going to take it out. We're going to take the hardware off. We're going to disassemble the entire thing, sand it, and paint the whole thing. So again, somebody paid full price for that piece of furniture just so we could paint it, which again, I think is really freaking cool. Okay, other things we're doing, I'll flip back around here. So we've got, this is again what I call some of my cheapy furniture. Again, very basic, very simple design, but it gives you that resplendent crow finish that people really like, and they can pay to add, you know, our resplendent hardware on here. But again, it's your 1/2-inch plywood drawer boxes with UV coatings on the inside, again, on soft close. And again, it's a nice looking cabinet, and customers should really like it. So other things, my veneer press, I only got to use it a couple of times, and I had to take it out of the shop because I need to make room for the CNC. So again, it's got the nice polyurethane sheeting on it. It's super flexible, and again, hardly got to use it. Other things I'm going to work on hopefully this summer are, I built a chair. This is a replica of a Ralph Lauren chair, and I built a mock-up at a 1/2-inch MDF. So I want to rebuild this, get it painted, put nice leather couches or nice leather seats in here, and wrap the entire outside in brass. So look forward to that. See if I can get to that this summer to kind of see what's going on. Okay, other things that we got in here. So any of you guys in the stream, hit the like button and add a discussion. So this is a vintage 6-drawer faux bamboo dresser. And again, really nice piece. This is, you can see it's got the resplendent finish on it. It's nice and shiny. And the hardware, this actually isn't our hardware. We sell something very similar, but this is, I believe this is Modern Matter. But again, got really nice, I don't know what the hell you call this stuff, some kind of quartz or something. But again, really nice looking. And again, it's that beautiful finish that all the chickies love. So it's what, I don't know what color, this kind of looks like maybe like an aqua, but it's not. It's too dark. So there's that. This is also the hutch that goes on the top of this, and we have a really nice paper that's going to go on the back. So you'll put the back in here. We'll put this beautiful textured, it's almost like a grass cloth kind of mural thing. Other things, more, this is what we call our basic vanity. It's just the very simplest type of vanity we can build. Essentially just shaker doors with some kind of a nice little faux base on it. Notice the gap, right? So that's kind of what's going on there. Just a nice looking piece. You know, we sell some of these. We don't sell them a ton. I don't think because we don't advertise them that often. But again, you get that beautiful resplendent crow finish. And that's the thing that people like. So that's what we got there. Again, Moors and credenzas. Remember what I was telling you guys. 75 of these a year sell for about 6,000 bucks on average. This is a 70 inches, so it's probably more like 5. But again, beautiful finish. This is what people want. There's that black. Black always shows really well, right? So you guys can, I mean, you can clearly tell all the colors for what I'm doing, and this is what people like. And again, it looks great with the brass hardware. We make all the brass hardware as well. So this finish is, again, right off the gun, guys. So this is what we get spraying right off the gun. We don't polish this. It's not necessary unless there's some kind of a problem. But again, very basic type of tapered foot, basic base, basic door. You know, very simple. We have just a slight, you guys can see there's a slight angle right there. Again, very simple looking cabinet, but very profitable, very popular. And again, guys, I just sell the absolute shit out of these things, and I love it. So I was trying to tell you guys this is what you got to do if you want to make the money, as they say. So okay, over here, so we've got this is God, I want to say it's a Century. I forget who makes this. But beautiful desk. My wife actually used to have one of these in her office, but you can see you got these beautiful Asian-y motifs. You got the beautiful Asian-y onlays. And again, super cool. It's missing one of these, so I have to make one of these. So I'll make this on my pin router. So I actually have a pattern for it because we have to make them from time to time. But anyway, cool looking piece, right? Not bad. Over here, we got this beautiful sideboard. And everyone just loves the colors. You guys in the stream, hit the like button, add the discussion. Get the likes up to 10 on this thing. So again, you guys can see the dust. Dust doesn't hurt lacquer one bit. Still stays beautiful. And again, you got that nice resplendent finish. We'll wipe all the dust off here. Wipe all this down. We use automotive cleaner for this kind of stuff. So show you guys exactly what I use. Come over here. Actually, I don't have it over there. I have to come over here. Yeah, here we go. So I walk in here. This is kind of where we just assemble paint kits. So the product we use for cleaning all of our furniture lately is this Meguiar's detailer, right? So what they call latch touch spray detailer. We buy it in 5-gallon buckets, and then we'll add it to little bottles we put in our touch-up kits. So kind of nice. It smells wonderful. So let's go on there. Keep moving back over here. Let's see what else we got. We got a lot of furniture to show you guys. So, all right, come in here. So this is one of our, we call it a 3-drawer, but it's really a 2-drawer, right? Faux bamboo, X Vanity. So a ton of these. And again, cool color, like limey color. It's very Key West. But again, you open it up, you get this nice, look at this. You get that nice cherry drawer. Looks, I mean, it's great contrast. You got that beautiful resplendent crow tag. Hell yeah, man. So anyway, pretty cool. Like it a lot. It's a good looking piece. I sell a ton of these things. And again, more Zenfidenzas, guys. So there is a piece of furniture you can make that everyone will buy. Here is the new kitchen cabinets I'm building for my wife. So we're getting ready to redo our entire kitchen, which is going to be a massive, massive undertaking. So what you have going on here is this is, I believe, White Dove is the color. And this is polished brass. So I'm always showing you guys how I do all my polished brass work, right? So all this is polished brass. You guys look right here, see this, how it's drooping? It hasn't been glued in yet. So we'll attach this with a metal adhesive, and it'll just be stunning when it's all said and done. And again, when you guys open these, check this out. Open this up, look at that. Beautiful walnut, right? So last thing I do is we got to add a couple of pins on the side, right? So you have this nice jewelry on the inside of all your drawer boxes. And again, the beautiful tag. I love the brass tag. So yeah, Suchetta's going to get probably $100,000 kitchen by the time she's done, and it's going to be mostly my labor. So that'll be awesome. I can't wait for that. I've been a furniture maker for 25 years. I've had my own company for 10 years. I've had my own furniture tag for about a year and a half. So it took me a long time to get a furniture tag. I'm super proud of it. So that's one of the things I love. Okay, we got a tall boy here. This kind of looks like oval or blue color. Not sure what color this is, but not bad looking, right? This is a vintage piece, obviously. Let me open these up again. Check out those beautiful cherry drawer boxes. So freaking awesome. Love this kind of stuff. But yeah, vintage isn't as good as it used to be. It's tougher to make money selling vintage furniture. by being completely honest. All right, I'm gonna walk you guys back to the very back where we do all of our pictures. We got a bunch of furniture back there to show you that's finished. Selling vintage furniture now is getting harder and harder. So the bigger our company gets, the harder it is to make money on that kind of furniture. We just can't charge enough for it to justify the time that it takes to work on it, which is why we make so much new furniture. The margin on new furniture is double or triple what it would be on vintage furniture. Plus, you don't have to find hardware if you lose it. It doesn't take a special craftsperson to fix doors and drawers and rebuild slides and rebuild feet. So it's just a much easier product to deal with when you're making that new furniture. So it sells for more, it's easier to fix, the margin's a lot higher, it takes less time to build, and less skilled people to make it, you know. So vintage furniture is slowly dying, but if you're a young company, right, you only got a couple of people, you can definitely make it work. But as your company gets bigger, it just, again, when you think about it, if you take the time, like say you take, I don't know, 10, 20 hours to work on a vintage piece of furniture that sells for $3,000 to $4,000, you could spend the same amount of time on a credenza that sells for $6,000 to $7,000. So it just doesn't make any sense. So all right, in here, so the room in here is, so we got this cool piece. Look at that. It's pretty sick. I always love anything that has diamonds, right? Diamonds in the sky. Pretty cool. So this is our new studded hardware, right? We designed this off of Valentino rock stud, right? So like if you ever bought a Valentino jacket or those beautiful high heels they have studs all over them. That's what that designed from. So pretty cool looking though. I think Suchetta did a good job on that one. And if you come over in here, so we have this dresser. Just can't seem to figure out what to do with hardware there. These are our simple chests. Right, so we make these. Again, like I was showing you guys before, it gives you that resplendent crow finish, right? That's super shiny that people really like. You can get the resplendent hardware, and you don't have to pay, you know, $8,000 for a pair like we would normally charge. These are going to be probably $6,000, maybe even less, maybe like $5,000. But again, you've got the plywood cherry drawers with the UV coating, and again, you get soft close slides, and it's very cool looking piece. I mean, just very simple but beautiful. You know, here's a beautiful hutch. So we've got some, I think this is Tebow paper, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, but again, Suchetta's the queen of paper. But anyway, nice looking piece. Again, vintage, and people like them. So here's, again, another credenza. Every time I show you guys these, just remember, there's our beautiful finish. This is where the money's at. Again, you see we've got a door that's slightly crooked, so we'll go ahead and clamp it all up. Leave it for a day or two, and then your door is right back to being where it needs to be in place. So little tricks of the trade. And again, you've got resplendent hardware there. So we sell all this stuff. I forget what that one's called. But anyway, cool stuff. So let's see what else. If we got anything else in here. Okay, here we go. Some more stuff in here. Oops, sorry, I put my camera back around. You guys don't want to see me. So here's yet another one. This is, I think I've already shown you guys this one. This is the flesh color. I forget what it's like. It's a fleshlight. No, it's some kind of flesh color. Reminds me of Louboutin high heels. So again, cool looking piece though, not bad. And so we got that. Let's see if we got anything in the picture room. So we're doing changes to the picture room. So I'll show you guys what we got going on in here. So okay, now we've got these little. Here's a couple of these little, kind of some nice little nightstands. Again, these are vintage. Kind of look like they'd be American at Martinsville, but I don't know what. See if we can find a manufacturer's name. I don't see one. No, there's no manufacturer's name. But anyway, nice looking pieces. But again, these are using that rock stud hardware. This is our newest hardware. So very cool looking, and I like seeing those. So that's nice. We got to get that stuff sold. So we have takes a long time to move products, guys. Especially if we got a new product, you really have to market the shit out of it and just blast it all over the place. And then it takes a year to get the thing to really move. So that's what it takes. All right, comments coming in. This is Jay Fest Videos 2618. Hi. Okay. Do you still use Novolk polyurethane? Yeah, here and there. So the thing with the Novolk is their color is wildly expensive for what you get. At least their colored polyurethane paint. We do use a lot of their primer because it dries really quick. It dries fast. It sands really well. It has pretty good coverage, you know, so we like to use that. We're not using the polyurethane top coat as much as I would like, but I do have hopes to use it in the future. We just haven't got to. Like I said, it takes a lot of time to really get these products figured out and figure out the best way to use them. But Novac's a great product. I really like it. The primer's priced really competitively. The clear itself is priced really competitively. The colors seem like it was a little bit expensive, the colored paints they have. So we haven't used those, and we probably won't. Even though you can, if you use their product, so you can prime their product, paint it, and you can prime it, sand it, paint it, sand it, paint it, top coat it in one day. Everything dries that fast. So from a production standpoint, if you really had to just like rip that stuff out, their product might make sense, but we don't kick out that much product to justify the price. So anyway, good question. Okay, flip this around here. So this is our picture room, guys. This is where all the magic happens, right? This is the master bedroom in the Cribs episodes. So this is where the magic happens. This is all right here. So we have had this bathroom in here ever since we moved into this building. We had a contractor come in and they ripped everything up. They put this, whatever this plank floor it is, and trimmed it out, and it's showing some age. So now next week we're having all of this torn out. So we're going to tear all this stuff out. So we'll basically double the size of our picture room so that we can take bigger pictures of bigger furniture, and it should be better. So that's kind of what's going on with the Resplendent Crow, guys. Talk about sales here. All right, what's your next question? And the gloss is better than Sherwin. No, it's comparable. What I like about here's what you need to know about. I've never had a gloss product better than Sherwin-Williams. Here's the thing about the No Vault Clear. When you spray your Sherwin top coat, that top coat is like lacquer. Lacquer can be scratched. Like lacquer isn't super resistant to scratching and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't want to throw your keys across it. You'll see it. If you put the No Vault Clear Coat on top of your lacquer, it makes for a much harder finish, right? So then you could throw your keys on it, and when you get scratches in the clear as opposed to the lacquer. So that's where I like to use that product. The other thing is that lacquer tends to smell a lot. So if you use No Vault on top of that, it traps all that smell. It's kind of wild. You can have a very smelly finish, a lacquer smell. Spray that top coat over it, and it's literally gone in like an hour. It just traps everything in there. And I haven't had issues with off-gassing or crinkling issues or stuff like that. You do gotta let it dry though, for sure. But No Vault's, in fact, I just got a shit ton of it in I think a couple of days ago. Mohawk's having trouble with their primer, so we had to move over to use No Vault a lot more because there's a shortage of nitrocellulose. So that's why I'm using more of it. So anyway, okay. So I'll answer your question there. So anyway, guys, that's kind of what's going on with the Crow. Sales are decent. Don't have any issues there. Sales are moving along just fine. I've told you guys many times that people like to talk smack on tariffs. Tariffs have helped my business to take more swings. I am not as busy as COVID, but I'm moving towards being as busy as COVID. I think in large part because of tariffs. Why would you buy a restoration hardware credenza, which is made in Vietnam by, some guy you'll never know, when you could buy one from me, probably the same price. And again, you know who built it, you know who painted it, you know who sold it to you, you know where the company is, you know all the people in our business. So I think tariffs have helped, so business is good. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, housing market sucks, but rich people are still moving, and rich people are still spending money, and they're buying our furniture, so do with that what you guys will. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and have a beer. Enjoy the nice weather if you got nice weather. So I will yak at y'all later.